Hello, my friends. Let's get started with an Apex Arena spectator stream. Woo! Hey, everyone. I'm thinking the match we will watch today is... Which group is it in? I'll probably go through every group and then find it last. Ooh, how about fellow main quarter, Vicelord, versus Trinhuv, Trinhuv was the only player to be matched up against one of the top 16 seeds who eliminated the seed. So Trinhuv, super strong player, going to be going up against Vicelord, who, at least in ladder, played a really interesting kind of Empire-focused box. So this could be a pretty interesting matchup. That's the one I think I'll want to watch. So we can spectate that. Hey, Disco Cobra, welcome to the chat. YouTube, I don't have your chat open yet, so let's be patient. I don't know why it says summoning for Bright Summoner on YouTube, because that's definitely not what's happening. Is that what it says on Twitch as well? No, Twitch is correct. Let's update the old YouTube stream then real quick. Whoa, whoa, whoa. YouTube's going nuts. Hey AJ, welcome to the stream. Don't worry, I'm not summoning again. Everyone's afraid. Yeah, everyone's afraid I'm going to be summoning. No sir, those days are done. There's no need to summon for anything in any Great Rush now because my season's over. So I have lots of time before I need to worry about summoning and building again. Okay, these matches are about 3 minutes away. Good, 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 good. Perfect time for me to get this all edited up. Carlos, thank you for your support and welcome to the stream. Okay, now I'm going to make sure that the people know that we're going to be watching Vice. Let's get ready, Vice. Top 128 action. QY Silver, thank you for the follow. Enjoy your Seal Guardian. Oh, I guess I should post it on my own Discord too. That's like the one place that I didn't post my link. How am I doing now that I'm over a bit of Lang burnout? It was only a bit of Lang burnout. It was more burnout of like a bunch of stuff all together, like content creation and stuff like that. So, no, I'm feeling good now. Like, had a nice break. I got some updates to the studio that make my life a little bit easier. A lot of streamlining of editing and stuff. Personal favorites for top 16 brackets. Well, we're not in the top 16 brackets yet, that's for sure. After these matches, though, Carlos, I'll go back through all of the brackets and look at the results. And, you know, once you're through 2 rounds, it becomes a little bit easier to look at the matchups and say, like, ooh, this is going to be a good match. So, yeah, we'll take a look and see who some of the strong contenders are then. So stick around till the end of the stream. So Vicelord actually had to play yesterday. Actually, Trinhuv had to play against Biomo too. That would have been a good match to watch. I was busy watching another match yesterday. Yes. Ready to rumble, AJ. Totally ready. Bite, welcome to the stream. I see you over there on Twitch. Alright, 20 seconds left. And then we have the requisite 5-minute countdown for both players to show up. It's possible that a player won't show up. I doubt it with these two players. Vicelord is serious and tends to show up for stuff. See, both the players on the opposite side, or the lower part of their bracket, got forfeits. Boomerang is another content creator, mostly streamer on the Lang side. Not exactly the strongest player. Yoshida Floof, I've played him several times during ladder as well, so they might be fairly evenly matched. But I think regardless of who comes through here, the winner of Vice or Trinhuv will take them to the cleaners. Avarita, welcome to the stream. Alright, matches have begun, so let's go ahead and watch. We can watch live in the lobby while waiting for the players to show. Okay, Hale is reporting. And it looks like Cool reporting as well, that their opponents have forfeited already, so they get to advance to the next round. We will take a look and see who all got forfeits in the second round. Forfeits in the first round are honestly fairly common for a variety of reasons. One of the reasons could be that a bunch of these accounts were piloted to playoff level for rewards, and then their pilots, when playoffs start, are playing their main accounts, so that the accounts that they piloted into playoffs are now pilotless, so they just don't show up. And yeah, another reason, every season there's like 1 or 2 people who sleep in and miss playoffs. So we do know that both of these players have arrived now. Match starts. So good, I think we might be in for an entertaining game. Just trying to stay on top of all the chats here, make sure I don't miss anyone on Twitch, anyone on YouTube. And sometimes anyone on Discord. Although Discord is less important than y'all, because there's no real indication that they're in here watching with us. Alright. We will get the map and the player order in 1 second. Vicelord as player 1 on the Cape of Sorrow. Now, look at these boxes. Vicelord's got Grenshiel in there. He's got Seraphina. He's a believer. Both players playing the new Bright Summoner. Vice also has a Lucia. He's got Patricia. He's got Tabers. He's got Florentia and Burn. So yeah, he's got this like nice off-meta core here. Yeah, Vice always likes to run some interesting stuff. But he does still have, you know, the 1, 2, 3... Those are his 3 main tanks. That's so interesting. Grenshiel has potential to guard. Burn has potential to guard. He's got 1, 2, 3 healers as well. First ban Bright Summoner. Interesting. I don't think Vice is a big whale, so I don't think that Bright Summoner is very high star. Trunhuv might be more used to either like Chinese players or whale players who might have a really well-built first pickable Bright Summoner. Vice taking the tried, tested, and true strategy of getting rid of the other LLR, Sovereign of the Abyss. Okay, that Tyrantel burn is going to force Vice on a tank pick now if he wants to play with a tank. And we are getting first pick Bright Summoner. So this will be very intriguing. I want to see what Trinhuv can do. I'm just going to move my screen down a little bit here. He might be a little shook. I want to see what, like, an account like Trinhuv can do with this unit. What do we think? Is this going to be Mage? I didn't watch yesterday's game, so I don't know if this is Mage or Holy. So Vicelord opting for Lanford as his tank of choice. Interesting to see how much faith he has in his water tank Ilusha on one of the game's water maps, not going for her. And Trinhuv gets second pick Emir as well. Emir able to punch through a Lanford. Two scary tank push DPS down. Vice bans out the Celica here, so it won't be able to combo with the Emir. There are a few reasons to go Mage. You would also go Mage if you had a rush box, if you were rushing as part of your game plan. Trunhuv has lots of game plans here, though. Has Vice always used Ilusha and Tabers? I don't know about always. I played Vice twice earlier in the season, and I don't remember Ilusha and Tabers. But Vice is always playing around with his box. He likes his Empire, he likes his Strategic Masters, so I'm sure he has, like, fun units that he puts in. He tests his box, too, though. Okay, so he's gonna go double tank. We are getting a late pick Ilusha on water map, which means so far only Seraphina as, like, a win con. It seems like Trunhuv either has to pick a tank here or is very comfortable going tankless. With just Seraphina so far as a DPS. Okay, he bans out AO, who's the only remaining true magical DPS. So Emir could technically just bring physical guard if he's worried about having a tank at all. He may just go all out and... I mean, I guess he'd have to punch through the tanks unless he gets this built up fast enough and can guard ignore with this. Okay, he's being banned down to a tank. So yeah, Lanford can chip in with DPS as well, especially with this Ilusha pick. There's less of a need, really. And even with these DPS, there's less of a need for Lanford to strictly bring guard. So he could chip in with DPS as well. Now, overall, obviously, I think Trinhuv's picks look much stronger here. They're the more meta-leaning picks. These are all very strong meta characters. We've got a late pick Isolde here. He doesn't need to have her fully 3-stacked in order to be a threat either. Emir can obviously do a lot. I'm going to be more interested in seeing what Vice tries to do with his side, because this is the kind of draft that we're much less familiar with, right? Seraphina, I mean, we've seen a couple Seraphinas through the latter season. No one has really given us a glowing display of exactly her capabilities. Maybe Vice is going to put on a show for us. Vice also does have immunity. He also does have an Act Again healer. Trunhuv not really relying on debuffs or anything, or AoE for that matter. This is just like a punch stuff and kill stuff team. So let's take a look at this Bright Summoner. Let me go over there. Okay, it is Holy. Okay, it is Holy. So Lanford brings the Guard Ignore. He did not bring Guard. That's fine. Ilusha is going to be the main tank after all. Now we've got Seraphina, who does stuff. And brought calves on both. So he does bring physical guard on Amir. He's got horses on Isolde. And speaking of horses, a couple horse summons here. And unicorns. Okay, Isolde running to the far back corner. She's going to wait back there while she gets built up. That will take her a couple turns, but Trunhuv is not necessarily going to have to feel like he has to hide with Isolde. When the time comes to tactically switch and bring her into the action, he'll be ready. The question is, does Vice have someone on his team who's going to be able to kill that Isolde before Isolde is activated? Ilusha, not exactly slow. These are some nice stats on her, too. This is the I benefit from having Lanford nearby stat set. So she's going to be able to move into mid relatively quickly. This is Butterfly on Tyrant. Love that faction buff stats. Flow pretty much basically there for Act Again plays. Okay. I haven't really seen much of that pre-using the portal ward outside of guard, like back in your own territory. I wonder if he meant to throw guard up, or maybe he's not planning on throwing guard up until next turn. Either way, he must figure he's not going to need to use that skill to pivot and act again quite yet. So yeah, Ilusha rushing out into the center of the map. Just carving out a little foothold for Vice. Okay, Trinhuv is going to go into the back lines and hang out back there for now. Nice miracle from the horse. Who do we think horse is going to soldier buff? Probably Emir, right? Everyone's pretty buff. Most and least favorite Apex maps. I don't like the lava map, even though I have a decent record on it this season. I just find it too slow and clunky. Like, you know, I have a decent win rate on it, but I just find it unpleasant to play on. Although, by the same token, I do like the Sky map, which I know a lot of people hate. A lot of people hate that map because it changes your tactical options. But that's one of the things I like about it. Like, it's not just some terrain is differently spread over this map. It's actually, like, a different shaped map. I think that's cool. I kind of wish Langrisser would do more different map shapes. Like, have a map with some verticality to it instead of being a wide map. Have a tall map. It would be functionally the same, but it would just look different, so it would be a little refreshing. You know, have player 1 start at the top and player 2 start at the bottom or something. I don't know. Ultimately, if you're thinking about maps, they're all kind of similar. Okay, so new horse. That basically just means Miracle's back. Buffs are topped up. It can cast its horse skill again. And it is going to horse up Jace this time. So we've got a whole fleet of horses now. What do you call a fleet of horses? A herd? A pack of horses? A gallop of horses? What's the group of horses called? Why am I forgetting this simple common word? Someone in the chat has a basic understanding of English and can fill in my memory hole. It's not a stampede of horses. That's what a group of horses does. Look at all these guys. Alright, Jace is doing his Jace thing. Is it a herd? It can't be a herd, Disc. Herd is like cows, like livestock. It is a herd. Dang. That sucks. Well, you got it, Disco Cobra. I guess I got it too while I was kind of like sarcastically saying it can't be a herd. Well, I guess it is. So while we were horsing around, Jace came in and got his Jace kill on Florentia. Oh, the Lucia's gonna go in right now. Waste no time. Throw down AoE. It does silence the Jace. So does that also give her the anti-act again aura? Yeah, within 3 blocks. Ymir is looking for a victim. Who do you take here? Seraphina? Okay, easy kill. Things are looking rough for Vice now. We just have Lanford as a DPS. Well, Disco, the thing about Ymir is he's such a killing machine. Like, if you're not sure of your kill potential on a strong unit, you might go for the healer. But you might as well, with a unit like Ymir, take out one of your opponent's win cons. Vice throws in the towel after that. I mean, it was an uphill battle there with just Lanford still having to get through a full Jace, a full and charging up Isolde under guard. So let's see. This is going to be very interesting. Floating Courtyard. Speak of the devil. I was just talking about how much I like this map. I wonder if Vice is going to go to the side box. Now, Vicelord, as the loser, I believe, got to select whether he wanted player 1 or player 2, and he opted for player 2. Which is quite interesting. Interesting, but not understandable. Like, I had a better win rate as player 2 than as player 1 during ladder this season. There's something about being able to see, like, what your opponent is going to go for and reacting to it accordingly. In some seasons, player 2, like last season or the season before, player 2 was kind of a, you know, you were already 1 foot in the grave with all the many rush options that your opponents had and the limited ways to deal with them. I'm interested in seeing if Vice is going to make some changes to this box. He's thinking about it. What changes would you make if you're Trinhuv? This is one of the maps that, like, Jace is not considered great on, although I've played Trunhuv on this map, and he was able to combo Jace on me. Probably just a skill issue. No, he does go ahead and drop the Jace. He brings up Arkenfell. Grenshiel is an interesting drop here, because she can make good use of this map. But Vice wanted Joa and Connie up here. I want to see some Arkenfell action. This is a classic Arkenfell map. Classic, as in, like, he's been around for so long doing shenanigans on this map. But I've seen clips of Arkenfell on this map. Being able to fly and teleport around is generally useful. First pick AO. With the Rosen ban. Trinhuv is going to be trying to slow down Vice's approach on this map. That has a few benefits. It'll stop him from getting into mid, getting set up in mid as quickly. I don't think Vice is exactly planning to rush or anything like that, although, I mean, with Patricia here and Sovereign left up, there's always the potential there. Flo can be a rush booster. First pick Flo is very interesting. Vice going to be hoping to get Burn or Lanford for faction buffs. So I wouldn't be surprised to see him pick one of them second. Most likely Lanford. Especially now that one of his tanks has been banned out. Oh, and the Nemia. This is going to be interesting. I'd be strongly looking at an Eshin ban here if I'm Vicelord. She's dangerous. Always dangerous, especially in Rush, especially on this map. So Trin, again, banning out a couple things that could slow down his own Rush. Gets the Isolde, though. I mean, I guess if you have the opportunity to grab Isolde as a third pick, she's worth it regardless of what kind of box you're playing. She's just so good. Okay, there's the Eshin ban. Celica banned out as well because Celica combos well with Isolde. She can speed up her transformation, or speed up her stack acquisition. Vice is going to need to look at grabbing something that can help him win this match. Patricia is a low-key interesting pick because she can help support her team as well. I have a feeling that Vicelord is going to be coming under heavy fire here soon. Like, sooner than he wants to come under heavy fire. Isolde also potentially a strong pick for Vicelord. I don't see Trinhuv leaving that up. No, so Isolde and Andy both go down this round. And I think Vice kind of has no choice but to go with a weapon at this point. I mean, I know Tabers is a weapon, but Vice is going to need more than just that. I think Joanne, Connie, Patricia, and to a lesser extent Burn are all his legit options here. Unless he's really, like, he really has faith in that Seraphina. Okay, he goes with the Patricia. And Trunhuv bans the rest of the DPS. So Vicelord is going to have to either... I mean, these are both bulky units who can throw some AoE around once they get into the middle of the map. I do think Burn's a slightly better pick. So sadly, I mean, Vicelord has interesting units, and he's been picking interesting units. Sadly, we didn't get to see Seraphina do anything in the last game. Maybe in this game we'll get to see Tabers. I want to see or Patricia in action. Vicelord does have that player 2 act again in Florentia, so there is some potential playmaking there. I'm just a little bit worried about this Nemia obliterating, you know, potentially one-shotting the Tabers. And then even if you don't consider the Nemia, even if you don't consider the AO, Isolde, Emir, and Lightbringer, that's like a strong core of the party. So the only thing kind of going for Vice here is that there's no true healer on Trinhuv's side. That said, Isolde, Emir, Lightbringer do all kind of take care of healing themselves. And by the time Nemia is like chipped down and in need of a healer, Trunhuv has probably gotten his money's worth out of her by that point. So I think it's potentially a scary situation again here for Vicelord. It's interesting to see how Trunhuv changed his pick ban style completely, going from player 2 to player 1. It's much more aggressive this time. Alright, Vice, let's see what we got on the go here. Tabers, who I have never fought against. I think she's always been either not boxed or banned. Actually, I have my Apex stats here. I kept a big spreadsheet of all my matches and all the boxes I faced throughout Season 18. Oh, and in the entire season, I didn't even face Tabers in a box. She was boxed 0 times against me in 61 games. So the games that I faced her in must have been waifu war games or scrims where I banned her. But I did fight Vicelord twice, which means she wasn't in the box, in his box yet when I fought him. Okay, Lanford is going tank mode. The rest of the team is Patricia'd up. Let's not even read Taber's skills. Let's let her surprise us with her capabilities. Burn brought physical guard as well. Just in case. It's a full AoE Patricia. Which is correct. QY, the main reason the healing skill is chosen first is because that's the one that reduces your cooldowns. So you get a lot of mileage out of that picking it first, because then every other thing that you use on Isolde cools down faster, so you get it back faster. Then the next skill you choose will depend on whether you are up against someone with a tank, how close proximity their enemy team is. Like if you think you're going to need to pick someone off or get access to your 2-range single target attack, then you'll pick your Guard Ignore skill next. It's usually a good one to pick second anyway, because then if you have the opportunity to snipe someone with your 3C, getting a 3C kill grants you your final stack anyway. I'm worried about this if I'm Vice. No, QY, like so many things in Isolde's kit, it's superpowered. So as soon as you use that, all of your skills are now cooling down. Like, all of your skills have a 1-turn faster cooldown for the rest of the match. Trinhuv has turn priority as well. So what does Eclipsing Shadows do? Okay, they can't be targeted above 80%. But she can just AoE. And it's double flyer. I'm worried. I'm worried about what that Nemia is going to do at the start of the next turn. Vice trying to stay back to force Trunhuv to really come in deep to commit. Slight buff on the Tabers. No act again yet. No immediate tactical necessity. Okay. Nemia picking up a strength in there. She's in guard. Oh, look at all those. It's all swords. It's 3 sword buffs. Skill damage, AoE damage, plus attack. Lanford throwing up a faction buff just to give everyone more stats. Yeah, there's no real rush for Trunhuv to pull the trigger with Nemia at the start of this turn. It's enough to threaten with her. If he wants to go this turn, he can go closer to the end. Woo! I'm thirsty. Thank you for that gigantic doggo emote earlier, by the way, Gold Magistrate. Gigantifying a gigantic doggo is the correct use of that bits function. Okay, patiently just keeping a mirror in the back, throwing that guard up. He did open with the portal ward last turn this game as well, so he did that both games. That's, I guess, just a way to get his stacks up and ready. So that he can act again immediately when he gets into the enemy danger zone and has the portal ward on faster cooldown. Vicelord trying to slowly sneak up here. Everyone's still in Lanford guard range. And Lanford's stat aura range. Okay, Florentia just throws some pain down on this Nemia. Act again on the burn. That's going to put some pressure on Trin to act here. Didn't get a great debuff from the Florentia. Burn can come in. Obviously this stuff is under guard, but this burn is going to be hoping to be able to put a hurt on with Sword Dance. Burn being in the action is an anchor for Patricia's skills as well. So if Burn gets in there and doesn't immediately get one shot erased off the map, then Patricia can potentially follow up. That said, she'll have her 3C. Right, this Patricia has already acted. So Burn, like Trin will take his action, Burn will go in. Okay, very thick AoE, doesn't quite kill the Florentia, but comes close enough. For Burn to act again, he'll have to do that on a Nemia tile. He's also AO chained, don't forget that. He's in water. Ooh. Oh, he can't reach. He can't reach, and he didn't pick Sword Dance. Sword Dance was the only thing he was going to be able to hit her with. So all he can do is body block down here by using Iron Fist. Super unfortunate. That's also not a great place for him to be for Patricia purposes either, because that doesn't really give lots of targets, or any targets for that matter, for Patricia explosions. What Vice really ideally wanted was a Bernhardt up here in the midst of things. So Burn and or Florentia are toast here. It's pretty much Trinhuv's choice. I mean, Nemia can single target either of them down and then run back to guard if she wants. AO's gonna do it. Alright, using it on AO was smart, because she's a better person to have suck up these Patricia stacks than Nemia. She has a revive anyway. So Vice loses Burn, gains nothing. Trunhuv picks up a lot of map control with all these tiles in the middle of the screen. Vice really squeezed here now. Maybe this is the time for Tabers to shine. I don't know what she does, but I want to see it in action. I mean, I know what she does, but... Okay, Meteor, not quite enough to finish off that AO. Maybe the stacks will do it after she moves. But she'll just be coming back. Zolda and Amir are just hanging out at the back there. They're the reinforcements. It's like, don't worry, Team Thick is coming into the action soon. Whenever you're going to need them, they'll be there. Nemia just goes for a pot shot on Lanford. That's a might as well do it action. It's just damage. Vice's problem is that he's just stuck back here. Oh, the thank you emote. Yeah, he's going to throw in the towel. Dang, we didn't even get to see Tabers do anything. Ah. All right, let's go look at some of the other games. We'll see if there's any other live games still going on that we can watch. And then, after that, we'll come back and reevaluate the brackets. Auto Run versus Tiamat is on. Meow Sensei versus a Russian. Q. Aquo. Alcazar's fighting. Dang, Skull Dice got a forfeit. He's gotten 2 forfeits in a row. This guy gets so lucky. Where's my forfeits? Matthew. Oh, Yoshi, Floof, and Boomerang are still fighting. Absol is still fighting. Jagger's fighting Mystic Star. We could watch Sadao's match. He is an interesting player who plays interesting stuff. He's in Group J. Will Underscore is still fighting. Will's a good friend of the channel. Let's go see what he's up to. He has a pretty typical looking Will draft. 3 healers, Lanford and Oboro. This is the very start of this game. Spyroza has a much more aggressive looking draft. Obviously feels like he has to play fast and aggressive against Will. He wants to get in here and start causing damage before that Oboro gets built up. He also has units who could potentially kill that Oboro. So the Leon is the friend of this Andy. They can both move far and fast, so as long as Leon gets in the mix with Andy, then Andy can guard ignore. Andys are usually built with Dragon Slayer Grom as well, so he'll have... oh, I guess this dragon isn't a dragon type, after he transforms as a dragon. But obviously, when you're looking at Will's box here, and it's another Holy Chris, all you gotta do is kill this Oboro, and then you're in good shape. But the other thing is, with such an aggressive... well, I guess you kind of have Bright Summoner as a healer. I was gonna say, with such an aggressive picks, even if you lose this Oboro, if you're Will, you can kind of just huddle around your healers and just, like, gradually chip away at Spyroza's units. But Zerida can ignore guard too, so she could take out another one of Will's healers. Yeah, Carlos, Oboro is a stalwart in Will's box. Will loves bulk lord, tank, and healer teams with, like, something like Oboro. Very interested to see lots and lots and lots of Bright Summoners in boxes this playoffs, given that she just came out 2 days ago. So I have a feeling a lot of people are playing her at like 4 stars. Oboro gets past the buffs. Yeah, no doubt, Insane Adar, that Oboro is going to be the beneficiary of that Celica. No doubt. Okay, so Zerida getting up into position. Oh, that's just one of Bright Summoner's Horse's skills. It basically gives them plus troop stats and terrain master movement. It's just a skill that the horse can use. It's a boost. It's good on Oboro pre-transformation because it gives his troops more bulk. After transformation, obviously he doesn't have any troops, so it doesn't matter anymore at that point. But one of the main things for Oboro has always been pre-transformation, making him as survivable as possible so that they can't come in and take him out. Will went with the... oh, he didn't bring 1C? Oh, he did. This was the 1C, and this is the 3C. Oh, he's going to throw the revive on his tank. These are like bulk lord strats that are beyond my mere understanding, but I trust Will's plays. It's just a buff to the existing troops. They can't really replace the troop stats with their own because this unicorn is not a troop. This unicorn is a hero. So it doesn't have troop stats, it has hero stats. So it just takes whatever your troop stats are and gives them a buff. Act again on the Oboro, also a source of some buffs, but more importantly helps him stack up more quickly. So he's technically considered faction buffed because he got faction buff from the horse, right? The horse passed its buffs. Oh, I don't see it. I don't see the faction buff. This is... no, that's not it. This is it. Yeah. So the horse was faction buffed by Chris, and then the horse passed the faction buff to Oboro, meaning his stats built up faster. That's a fun little tech. Okay, let's see what kind of scramble Spyroza gets here. Ooh, everyone pulled away from the Lanford. In fact, the Lanford can barely even get in to get anyone under guard. Boro can't move. Andy and Zerida are both knocking on the door. It's not a great scramble for Will. He's going to be looking for either ways to body block, or, I mean, he could move his Lanford up, which gets Oboro under guard. That doesn't really matter against the Zerida. Actually, it doesn't really matter against the Andy either. Maybe he just heals. Miracle. Good double miracle. That's a rough scramble for Will. Yeah, we're seeing some backup time go here. Will has to consider his options. If we got to see Danger Zone, I don't just mean the stupid grid lines. She can basically hit whoever she wants because of her act again on her center talent. Protecting Oboro is a priority. She can jump into the Leon, too. So really, all of these DPS are currently threatening. Will doesn't have a way to block this. Oh, the Shiv is going to help him move again and get back into position to guard. If he's here, he's guarding everyone but Celica. If he's here, he's guarding everyone but Celica and the horse. Okay, he gets all the way in. That's a good Shiv. So, like I said, his problem is still... So that means at least Z2, if she jumps in, she has to just hit the tank. It doesn't solve the Z1 problem. She could potentially run in and kill Oboro, or Liana. He can run in if he can reach. Okay, we're gonna see Zerida first. This has to be on Oboro. Now, will Oboro's suicide kill Zerida as well? Oh no, so close! So she heals back up. Man, Oboro not being able to take out Zerida with no soldiers hurts. That sucks. I mean, I guess she had full hero health. So now we're in the phase of Will Gaming, where he basically just has to use his healers as mages to beat the crap out of all these unguarded units, and hope that he has enough sustain to be able to wear Spyroza's team down before they can continue doing guard-ignory stuff, picking them off. Technically possible, but it's much messier. So BS has a big skill here. Chooses to port to the unicorn. Who's she gonna kill? Is she gonna try to move up and kill Andy? Or is she just gonna stay back and try to kill Zerida? Zerida has already acted. She's not as threatening this turn. She will be threatening again. Andy's still threatening this turn. But if you move ahead and try to kill Andy, you're in much greater danger. Doesn't quite nail that either. That's Is that 4-star Chris problems? 15%. Is that 4-star? I think it is. Because then it goes 20%, 25%. So if you have a little bit more juice on that Bright Summer, you get that kill. Oh, and Will throws in the towel there. Didn't like his situation. Ready to move on to game 3. So now we are 1 game apiece for these players. This one wins. The next win wins. Okay, Will opting for player 2. He likes it. We have some backup box options from game 2. So Leon and Lostum were brought up from the backup box. And Michelle on Will's side. So now we get to see the full box finally. Yep, Will is playing with a Lanford tank, a Tyrant tank, a Lightbringer tank, and a Leaden tank, as well as Elma, Bright Summoner, Liana, Rosenseal, and Celica as healers. So 4 tanks, 5 healers. And then the carries are whatever was in the back, or whatever was in the main box before this got brought up. The 2 dragons, the Emir, the Eshin, and the Sovereign. Pretty interesting box. And this is pretty single target rush looking. 1 tank. Plus some off tanks, but, you know, don't really count those. BS is the only real healer here, but she's so versatile that I don't really need to count her as like a healer per se. She can do so much. Even a Holy One. As we saw with Will's attempt to snipe the Andy there. But we'll see if they're going to dip back into their side boxes and change anything else around for a battle on Shipwreck Strait. Oh yeah, and they are. We're getting some Sho Fukamachi action. Lostum goes down for Nemia on player 1's side, which makes sense on this map. Very Nemia friendly. Who did we drop, though? We dropped the Michelle, which makes sense. The Oboro makes sense. The Bright Summer makes sense because it's like a 5th healer. So, ulti, though. AO could be good to help slow down the rush that's coming. And Sho is just because Will wants to put on a show for us. So it's time to settle into my seat here a little bit and get ready. Unless Spyroza bans Sho Fukamachi, in which case we all have to be very upset. First ban is Isolde on both sides. I mean, I guess if you're playing Turtle like Will, you know Isolde is pretty much one of the things that can eat through your team, so you don't want to go up against it. And if you're Spyroza, you know that Will can get multiple tanks and multiple healers, so you don't want to go up against an Isolde in that case either. First pick, normal Zerida. Yeah, I was going to say Andy, Emir, big threat still remaining for Spyroza, so he does pick one. Will still able to go for another DPS pick here. Carlos, once she's built a bit more... Oh, second pick, Guyver. Guyver! Once she's built a little bit more, like, she is a Mythical Realm unit, so I can play her in my Myth box. She kind of helps my Myth box a little bit, actually, because it's just, like, a lot of incidental healing while doing other stuff. That means I don't have to necessarily worry about. The only problem with fitting her into the Myth box is I'm going to have to drop someone like Almeida, who I really don't want to drop because she's such a, like, character pick for that box. But yeah, second pick Guyver. Love to see it. Will is definitely in the mood to put on a show now. Okay, gets the Celica. Sho and AO already have revives. They have weird revives. They both have, like, thing left on the ground revives. I have a feeling this Celica is going to be putting her 3C on the tank. Whichever tank he ends up getting. Yeah, Carlos. Seer, who hangs around in main chord, has a Heroes of Time box, a good Heroes of Time box, but I don't think he focuses a ton on Apex. So you won't see it too often in ladder and streams and stuff. Okay. If I'm Spyroza, I'm banning the Ultimuller. He leaves it up. This means Ulti doesn't have to bring his faction buff, if Lanford can bring faction buff. Will might decide to opt for a second tank, though, just because that's how Will does things. He does only have the one healer. Honestly, I think Ulti's a good pick here. There's a physical guard in Emir, but Ulti's the kind of character, like, if Spyroza's coming in one at a time, you want units who can kill stuff. So you've got your AO, you've got your Sho, but Ulti can also kill a unit who comes in. I think that's a valuable pick. So thankfully, we're being treated to another very interesting match. Now, hopefully this goes better for Will than it did for Vice in the first game we watched, because Vice picked Seraphina for us, but we didn't get to see her in action. Then, Vice picked Tabers for us, and Patricia, and we didn't get to see either of them in action. And now Will has given us Sho Fukumachi and Ultimuller. I really hope we get to see them do something fun. Yeah, Disco, I agree. Can't wait to see. Can't wait for Sho to wipe the floor. We'll see, we'll see. We can hope. As a certified Guyver fan, it almost doesn't matter who picks Sho. I want to see Sho do well. This is probably one of the last matches still running, so after this game, we'll go back over the brackets and we can talk about the remaining matchups. And then I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to be able to stream any of the top 64 next Saturday, because a couple friends are coming to town from the dim and distant lands of Toronto for a wedding. So I'm going to want to spend some time hanging out with them. Angels on the Andy, solely to defend against this. Double big single target skills on the Z2. Makes sense. That breeze, though. Turn priority, too. She can hit anything she wants at the start of next turn. Good God. What a unit. Will's just gonna hang back there and give himself some space. She's not immune yet, though, so I mean, I guess AO can chain her. Help slow her down a little bit. If I'm Will, I do that kind of early this turn, just so I can then position the rest of my units while seeing what their new movement is, their new movement range. Zerda being Andy's friend is mean too, because she can rush in and do some damage this turn, and then if Will kills her, like he should, then Andy's mad for the rest of the match, ignores guard. If he doesn't kill her, Z2 can teleport to her. Guyver moving right up. Aggressively evolving. Unit range +1. Mobility +2. Ulti needs another turn on this Lanford to get activated. Oh, Dobermans are angry about something. Alright, someone's troops are about to get unicorned. Now she's 9-move Terrain Master. Disgusting. Will goes AoE with the AO. Black hole, huh? I would think these units are coming in one at a time, so you probably want a single target, but I guess Black Hole can throw down a bunch of debuffs, then that could be helpful as well. I'm not going to throw down a bunch of debuffs on the Emir. Looks like Matt on main cord got eliminated by MX. It looks like Hakwo defeated Stratos 2-0. Yep, sure enough, as predicted, Will is throwing that 3C revive on his tank again. Armor affinity on the Ultimuller. That must be guaranteed breeze, right? He wouldn't have anything else on his ulti. He can't clock Dragon Dance. Can he? I mean, it's a AoE ring attack. Okay, AO has a picture of who she needs to throw chains on now. Wow, Ultimuller charging up aggressively, catching that breeze. I mean, I guess the thought process here is that Spyroza has to kill it instead of something else that's more important? Or is that just a pivot point for her to swap to him and throw an AoE out? That could be the case. That could be the case. Yeah. Yeah, exactly, Zedbot. That's a pivot point. She'll pull him back into guard range, and she can AoE from up here. Doesn't really matter if she dies. She will revive. Possibly the debuffs will help slow down these units and or weaken them. And then whatever Spyroza's first play is after that. Look at these show stats. Don't you just love to see it? Ulti's looking a little bit more anemic because he hasn't received his faction buff yet. Show's not buffed either. Okay, that's a good spot for ulti. Now, let's see if we get any good debuffs. Yep, we got silence and buff block on Andy. We got heal block, and is that attack down or damage down? It's attack down on the Zerda 1. He's obviously not debuffed. Debuffs on the horse don't matter all that much. Unfortunately, not great debuffs on the Bright Summoner. He does have reactive first strike right now. He's in guard range, so that won't really come into play unless he upgrades that. How does he upgrade that one? End a turn in the danger zone. That's not too bad. Okay, Emir's anti-revive doesn't do anything against AO because she doesn't have a revive. She just has a portal for a new character to come out of. So next turn, there's going to be an AO clone. Lanford has to move up to enable the rest of Will's team to do anything. I'm going to stop moving the screen around because the screen wants to go places that is not what I want to look at. I wanted to check out Ulti and Show's new stats now that they've been faction buffed. So we will take a look. Once Spyroza. I have to be patient. Let Spyroza take his actions. He's also a player in this game. So it's still move 9 minus whatever you lose from the chains. Two, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So she can reach here. She could make an attempt on Show. He has a lot of defense. She should be able to reach. She should be able to reach here. She's gonna go for it. Big chip damage on the Show. Show puts his little shield up. Oh, he does counterattack and kill her! The reactive first strike. That catches so many people. Thank you, Cobra. Alright, time for Show to aggressively go up and now also kill the angry Andy. Show taking advantage of that now boosted range. Permanent +2 range. Wait, is he fully boosted? He has everything? Oh no, he needs his hyper regeneration boost. Spy, yeah. Disco says Spy's cooked. I mean, he's got Emir hard carry, but he needs to get through everything is guarding. He needs to get through that Lanford first. Lanford has the revive from Celica. So he needs to get through Lanford twice before he can even do anything to any of these units. Okay, I want to see Ulti make an attempt, a first attempt on this Emir now. Let's not forget that Will has an AO clone coming back too. Show still has a revive. Z2 is just like way back here in the fog, like, ugh, do I really have to jump in and do this? But here she comes. He picked up a Gospel, right? She cast Gospel on Ulti and him, so she's not going to be able to disable his revive. She can take his first life. Can she even take his first life? I'd be very interested in seeing just how thick. Yeah, she does. It looked close. Oh, he does have turn prio too, so he's going to be able to combo that life down. Lanford's going down, but Show... Maybe Show carries? Against Emir and Z2, though? Will's now thinking about this. Realizing that at the start of next turn his Lanford is dead. So, who do we need to kill? These both have revives. Maybe take both Zerida lives? He's not guarding, right? Might be tough to take both Ymir lives. Yeah, he's gonna go for the Zerida. There's life 1 down. Okay, that's good. That's good for Will. Now he only has the Ymir to contend with. Ymir can easily tap. I mean, even the Unicorn can easily tap down this Landford now. But then that gives Will 3 DPS units to try to combo through the Ymir. Which, I mean, Sho, we've seen Sho is buff AF. Moving the BS up, clustering these units together is good because it prevents the clone from trying to pick someone off with her 3C. Oh, that's an interesting move. That might be bait. That might be bait. Letting AO do a swap and then 3C this horse could let her come back as a full unit, but then I guess Ymir just kills it? She can summon another horse next time. She's gonna go for it, though. There's not as much value in black holing here because you can't debuff the Ymir, so all you're doing is debuffing these. I think he's going to try to go for the horse skill to get a full AO back. And then we'll see who Ymir's primary target is going to be. He's going to try to kill someone. No, he is going to go for the black hole. Okay, that's to chip down the Ymir more so than to debuff. Again, trash debuffs on the BS. He's going for Sho. He doesn't quite kill, but also that wasn't super threatening in Ymir himself. Oh, is Ymir going to finish him off with this attack? Sho will revive too, though, remember. He has his out of control metal revive. And Ymir basically recharges after that. Oh, if I'm ulti, I'm kind of scared to attack into that Ymir. This is looking potentially sketchy. Her 3C target is dead, too. Yeah, go for the BS. That's good. Sho's gonna be back. Spyroza has turn priority. This Celica needs to live long enough to give someone a revive. Alright, refreshing ulti skills. Ulti has his 3C back. Going for the ulti makes sense because Sho is out of control right now. Ooh, big kill on that ulti. Ymir is hard carrying here. Out of control Show will go for the unicorn, but the unicorn could potentially move away. So I don't know, what do you do? Now you try to 3C it down. Is it gonna work? How weak are these unicorns? Oh, weak enough. Okay, so we have a full AO back. And we have Celica's 3C back, so she can throw a revive on someone. Unfortunately, Show doesn't have all his sweet, thick stacks that he did before Ymir killed him. I'd be almost tempted to put Celica's revive on herself. Get her into DPS mode. You can't really hide from that Ymir. So it goes back on Show. Oh, there was an attempt at weak DPS. Ymir is so rough to fight against. Okay, so Out of Control Show does a little bit of something to Ymir. Then runs back, hits him with the Mega Smasher. Ooh, now this is looking good. Pops that Redeemer Revive. And Ymir is in rough condition here now, especially up against 3 units. AO's got nothing, but she can just take normal pot shots at Ymir. Show is back to being a big threat. Ymir just stands to get some healing. Show just finishes him off here. It's all over. It's all over. I don't know. Yeah, I mean... He didn't want to try to attack something, but he had to know that he had, like, 3 attacks incoming from Will. Didn't want to throw in the towel. He just wanted to let Show kill him. So, GG with the Sho Fukamachi carry on Will Underscore's side. A thing of true beauty. Let's go back and look at the brackets. Disco and I already cashed in Guyvers. Apti cashed in a Guyver. Alright, Group A. Frutilla and Kitten Overlord. Oh no, Kitten Overlord versus Tomato. That'll be a good match. Frutilla and Cuck. Cuck is going to be the favorite there. Cuck probably comes out of that group. Mikey likes it. Oh, there's a game still going. Awakened versus Chibi version 2. Thanks for the Guyver, Creamy. Meow Sensei versus Auto Run on this side. Oh, Auto Run beat Tiamat. Meow Sensei versus Auto Run. Haywise versus Hakuo. Kiri versus Q. Q is probably the favorite to come out of this group. Gull versus Natus. Norton versus my dear friend Cuck. Honestly, not sure. I think this ends up being a match between Gull and dear friend, and I'm not sure who wins between those two. Close. Daywalker. Defteros versus Skull Dice. Not sure? I think Defteros has the edge in that. Skull Dice is good, but he hasn't gone, like, all the way. Zuko versus Windseeker. That'll be an interesting match. And Olivo. What's going on over here? What's all this? So Olivo will play the winner of those. Okay, MX versus Absol. Honestly, I think Absol probably wins that. He's always been strong. Trinhuv takes this whole group, though, to be perfectly honest. He mops the floor with whoever wins this, and then probably beats Absol. Group H, we've got Tiny versus Mystic Star, and we've got whoever this is. That's not the real Apex Addict. Someone else who named their account after him. Mommy Rosa versus a Seven Heaven Wolf still going on. I was going to say it must be 1-1. I didn't realize Wolf was a whale. Brain versus Tiny Poo Poo. And then Qtaru's Pilot versus whoever wins this. Depending on who's playing this account, you know, maybe it's still Saint-Jacques. I saw Saint-Jacques playing on this account during ladder. I think Saint-Jacques beats whoever wins this. And if he's playing well, potentially wins the group. We've still got SSR versus Serial going on. Sidao, though, is their next opponent, and Sidao is super scary. Boing Boings is also over here versus Up Appa. Up Appa is a previous champ from a few seasons ago. Johan Liebert is another friend of Seven Heavens. He's going to be going up against the streamer Kazgao. And Tier Grants versus Yang Dead on this side. I say whoever wins the left side of this is going to win the group, so either Kazgao or Johan. Subrak versus Valabar, and Jenner, Jean R versus Cool. Cool just catching forfeits. Will underscore versus B Guy. Oh, that's an interesting game because they play kind of diametrically opposed styles. But we saw Will defeat Spyroza today. I think Will is going to defeat B Guy as well, which means he'll be up against Winston in the group finals. And that is going to be a really good match to watch because they're both very good players. Will and Winston, both very good players. Wayne Ren is going to be up here against the winner of Kenji and Irvin. Why am I surprised that Kenji's game is still going on? And then we have Zanson and November as well. Zanson has a strong track record. I can see this group being Wayne Ren versus Zanson. And then that'll be another really interesting to watch because they're both previous season champs. Wayne Ren a little bit more recently. So, Seven Heaven Jaden versus Moondoggy. Is that a rematch? Didn't they play in a previous playoffs? I know they have beef, but that might just be Seven Heavens related beef. And then we've got Mad 'Cause Bad. That is someone's alt. Is that Pay the Tolls alt? Maybe it's now Pay the Tolls main. And that's going to be against another Seven Heaven. And finally, in the last group, Leo Smart advances to face Fresh Knight. And then Hale. Wow, this is weird because this guy lost his game. He had that bug where if your side box isn't full or geared, it automatically fills your side box with ungeared shit and then says that you can't join the game because you're ungeared. So he ended up showing up for his match yesterday, but being forfeited by that bug. So it's still showing him as alive, but Hale is the one who is advancing in this section of the bracket. And Hale will be facing the winner of Chad or Mirror. So yeah, I'm a zero. You know what? I think the reason they haven't fixed it yet, it's not a new bug. It affected a lot of people in last season playoffs as well. Like, there were multiple people who showed up for their match and got forfeited because they were, like, chucked into their side box and couldn't do anything with it. You know, you can't change your side box after matching has begun or whatever. And they all reported it, but I don't think this bug happened in China, which means it didn't get reported to Zilong by the players that they actually care about taking care of. if it was reported as a bug in China, then it would get fixed here just on Rails. Like, Zlong doesn't sit down to fix global bugs. They just, like, inherit bug fixes from China. Often the Zlong global team won't even know what you're talking about if you report a bug that already existed in China. Like, if you say, oh, this whatever such and such happened. I've had this experience with, like, translation issues and stuff before. And they'll just say, like, oh, we don't know what you're talking about, what's going on there. And then the next week it gets fixed because the community managers don't know about it, but the fix was already, like, in the pipelines to get translated over. It's frustrating, but that's the way global is. So that's what I'm afraid of, is, like, even if we keep reporting this in global, they won't really know what to do anything about. But this guy, whoever that is, has already reported this on main chord. So hopefully if more people, like, rally around, if anyone else has had this happen to them. The reason it's rare-ish is because it only happens to people in playoffs. Like, it doesn't just happen in, like, normal scrims or whatever. So and then it only happens to the people who come to playoffs to play without, like, their sidebox ready. So it's rare-ish. Anyway, that is my thoughts on the groups. So, like I said, I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to be able to stream the top 64 just because I have my friends coming down and I'm going to be hanging out with them. They'll be gone the next day, so I will be able to hit the next round, which is where some of those really interesting, like the Wayne Wren versus Zanson game, and the Will versus Winston game, that's when those will be happening, so I'm definitely going to be streaming those. So check out my channels on Saturday just in case the timing works out and I am here to stream, but definitely come back on Sunday. Yeah, that's going to be it for me for today. So thanks for coming out and watching. Thanks for coming out and cheering on your favorite Guyver deployers, and I'll catch you in the next one. Happy languishing, my friends.